Rob Sperry is in the house. If you're networking, you're direct sales, this is the guy you want to listen to. Hi, my name's Troy Landwehr. You can like, subscribe, ring the bell on my page, Time with Troy. We got a special guest today. We're going to bring some fire. We got literally one of the best sought after trainers in the industry. His name is Rob Sperry. And he's gone around and trained thousands, millions of people and companies on from social media, online presence, how to build their brand. He's pretty fresh. He does it all. So Rob, it's good to have you.
Hey, I knew we were doing this interview, so I'm like, I got to go get a haircut. I got to be all prepped. I got to be all ready. So I'm all ready for this. I mean, I've been following your journey for years and years and years, and just loved how much energy you have, how you've just absolutely gone out and smashed it. And the other thing I like about it is you're a collaborator, you're a connector, which, we've heard the cliche quote, collaboration over competition, but I think more and more these days, people are seeing that power, right, of collaboration, the little mini masterminds of just sharing ideas and concepts. So super honored that you would trust me enough to bring me on here to be able to share any value that I possibly can today.
Well, I appreciate it. I've been, listening to you, Rob, and I'm a firm believer that success leaves clues. And in this space, in this industry, if you're in direct sales, if you're looking to work from home, the information that you have and the tips, and I know people are going to probably get a lot of great bullets, and then they're going to want to know where to find you. So before we bring the fire, because we're going to bring some great tips, how to build your business. If you're advanced, if you're at the beginner, you're going to want to stick around and learn from Rob. Where can they find you, Rob? If people want to learn more from you, where are they going to be able to find you?
So on Instagram at The Game of Networking, that was my very first book, somewhere over here. Can't really
show it off.
It.
If you got it, man. Come on.
We'll find it. So that was my very first book that it sounds impressive, but it may be embarrassing. It took me almost 8 years to write. Oh my goodness, what a process, right? Overthinking things, overanalyzing, all the good stuff. And then on Facebook, just my name, Rob Sperry. You can find me there. And if you search The Game of Networking, a Facebook group, I believe it's the largest generic type collaboration group in this profession. And it's just been a ton of fun. I think we've had, at one point we documented over 600 top earners that had posted it. And then we just lost track because it's just gone crazy. And so if you go to that Facebook group, you can find me there, and we're always providing value and insights, and it's fun to collaborate online there. So those are the best places to find me.
Well, here's what I like. I like people that adapt to change, and in this industry, in every industry, sometimes change sneaks up on us, right? And you look at Netflix, Blockbusters, what everybody uses, or Uber to taxi cabs, and you've been able to stay around the top earners in the industry, the top traders in the industry. They've been on your show, they've been on your podcast. And so there's all kinds of information. I know when I'm at the gym, I'll tune into you, when I'm on the treadmill or something. And sometimes they go a little extra long because I'm like, oh, this is really good. I got to rewind this and listen to this again. So I get extra 10, 15 minutes. So you're helping me stay in shape too, Rob. So I appreciate that. And you're truly one of the trainers I listen to. And I even in whatever space you're in, personal development, getting better, improving yourself, all that kind of stuff is great, right? But I love the content that you bring. So we're going to get into some questions. I'm going to put you right on the seat. One of the big things is if you're a networker, right, and you're beginning, you're looking at getting into the field, what recommendations can you make to a brand new person that's looking at this industry?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing when one gets started is Walt Disney has a famous quote that says the best way to get started is to start doing. And when you rewind and you look at a lot of people and you ask them when they had their most success as far as sponsoring goes, the vast, vast, vast majority will say they had more success in their first month than they did in months 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and any of those months as far as sponsoring goes. Because at the very beginning, you don't know enough. You don't know how to explain everything. You just know that you're excited. And so you got that passion, you got that urgency, and urgency is synonymous with wealth. So now what do? Is you simplify the whole process of you're inviting people to look. You're really selling people to look. Well, then eventually what happens? You got a couple of close friends and family. I call this the honeymoon stage, where you're delusionally optimistic. You think everything's going to be great. So your recruiting's high. month one. For those that once you engage, right? It doesn't mean if you're ordering the products for 6 months, that doesn't count. I mean, like once you engage as a business builder, a distributor. Well, now all of a sudden, let's say it happens month 2, month 3, month 4, whenever it happens. At some point it happens where people quit. Close friends and family start to quit. You start to deal with way more rejection than you would hope for. So at the beginning, our emotions are way too high. Now they're much lower than they should be, right? That's typically how we go. We have to learn to manage those emotions. And so now you go through what I call the sophomore slump. Well, the sophomore slump is where we think things are 10 times harder than they are. This is where our association is to that pain of what are the friends and family more reject me like this. And I feel like them quitting is me making a mistake. We start doubting everything. So our energy level goes from here, just crashes all the way down, right? And now it's completely crashed. So now what do? We mask our insecurities with information overload. So at the beginning it was, hey, look, you got to check out this product. You may or may not like it, but I promise you it wouldn't waste your time. So I'm just giving an example. And then later it's like, oh, our company, we've got 12 pending patents and we've got 6 doctors and we've got these 72 magical ingredients. We got this one ingredient that grew, during a full moon in the Himalayas that a sheep peed on. And oh my goodness, it's absolutely incredible. You're going to love this. And what we do is we got diarrhea of the mouth, right? We're just vomiting because our insecurities now are so high that rather than focusing on the energy and the power of brevity, now we start thinking we're giving them reasons to look, but in reality, what we're doing is giving them reasons to say they don't need to look because now they know enough. And that goes back to being the preview of the movie, not the movie. When you think about your favorite movie of all time, can you imagine if somebody ruined it and they told you every single key point of the movie, all the twists and turns in the plot and the surprises? The movie would never have been the same for you. So we've got to understand, no, it's never tricking anybody ever. That's not my style or personality. I'm just straight up with people. Look, I can't do it justice. That's why I told you. I wouldn't waste your time. It's worth coming to take a look. And after, you can make your own decision. And so I would say for the newest person, number one income producing activity is talking to brand new people. And all you're doing is focusing on the most simple invite you possibly can. And you're selling them to take a look at whatever your system is, ATM, Facebook group strategy, whether it's a Zoom, whether it's some secret sauce video, whatever your system is. I'm principle oriented. Each company has a different system. Each team has a different system. I want you to focus on the system, but I want you to focus at least 80% of your time on talking to brand new people. How do I get better at inviting, following up, closing, handling objections? I talk to more new people. I can't become a professional pianist by going and watching 100 YouTube videos and never actually playing. I can't become incredible at playing football because I watched, all these YouTube videos, but I didn't go out and play the game. It's the same concept. So I would say for not just the newest person, but I think even as we get involved in this business, as Troy, as well as anybody, we get management mode, right? Where it's like we start to have success, but we don't want to deal with the rejection. So now we're trying to get everyone else to do what we once did, not what we're currently doing. And we go into that management mode. So staying out of that management mode, staying in that phase 1 income producing activity is always that constant reminder and focusing on being the preview of the movie and selling the invite. You're just selling people taking a look. I mean, that's get out of your own way as you go. So I know that's a mouthful, but I love that question. And I don't know any of Troy's questions. So he's got me on the hot seat over here.
That's right. We're going to keep finding a way to. I love that because, there's learn activity, right? And there's doing the activity, right? There's only so much learning. You read a lot of books on swimming, but eventually you have to get in the water. You have to do it. You have to learn in that activity, right? You got to get out of the classroom. And so when I'm watching Rob Sperry at the gym, I say, okay, you've listened to his videos. Now put that in action, right? Now you got to do it. You actually got to do the thing. And I love that. So let's talk about that. Let's stay on this topic. You're new. I mean, even if you're a veteran, right? You got to kind of rebirth yourself at times. You got to like rechannel. Sometimes it's a workout regimen or whatever. Like, all right, I got to get back into it and get in a groove because we all lose momentum. Even if veterans do. What are like some scripts? How do you approach people? Like, what is your go-to? How are you building? How do you recommend building in network marketing? So it's kind of a big question because it may be like a company question too. Like it's a person. How do you like to build? What's the easiest way to build? And what are like things how would you approach somebody?
So this is twofold. The first thing is you got to establish, are you someone that feels better about approaching people from a customer or a product standpoint, or are you someone that feels better at approaching people from a business standpoint? So what's more duplicatable? For sure, customers. The vast majority are going to be too scared to talk to business builders. But do not confuse principles with techniques. The principle is talking to brand new people, right? The technique is whether you're going to talk to them about customers as a focus and products, or you're going to focus on business, which is still going to be talking about customers, but just a different way. So the reason why I say this is because for me, this sounds totally opposite. I know, Troy, you probably were at this point sometime. I was 10 times more scared to talk to somebody about being a customer than talking like really big of, let me show you a business plan. And that was my own limiting belief, my own insecurity. And I quickly realized the way that I thought was different than other people. Like I was way more comfortable talking to someone that was making 6 figures in traditional business about, let's do this as a business, let's crush this, than someone about, hey, go invest, $40 and get this incredible product. Some of you are like, are you kidding me? I know. I had some limiting beliefs. So don't try to make everybody a one size fits all. That's what you first establish is which one, but also understand that the vast majority are going to be focused on products and customers. And so if you are going to focus from a business standpoint on business builders, you have to make sure that your systems are more emphasized and focused on mass customer acquisition. So that's what I don't build anymore. I'm a generic coach now, public speaker. But when I was building, what I did is, especially towards the very end, the last 3-4 years, is I focused my systems to take care of the masses for customers, because again, that was more duplicatable. And then I went and did my little secret sauce ninja strategy behind the scenes of focusing on business builders. So with that said, once you establish that, the principle is urgency is synonymous with wealth. The principle is selling them on taking a look. Those are the main 2 principles. The principle is to keep it brief. So now you're going to create different variations of scripts. So if I'm talking about product, I'm going to create urgency of, my goal is, if it's one of my closest friends, I'm going to tell them, hey, this is something that you absolutely should try. If you like it, keep taking it. If you don't, then that's totally okay. I'm never going to be offended. Don't worry, I'm not going to annoy you. You don't have to keep ordering the product.
I like that. I actually like that. This is something you should. I like that. Can you say that again? For those, that's good. That's fire. I like that.
So I always hit my invite, and I'll say it again, with my insecurities. People always try to dance around their insecurities. My insecurity was that they thought I was going to be part of the NFL, the No Friends League, that I was going to be the annoying person that was going to hit them up 1,000,000 times even if they weren't interested. That was my own insecurity. So I teach people to approach people and hit their insecurity head on. So I would hit my insecurity head on with urgency of, look, if it's a close friend, you got to try these products or this product. You're going to absolutely love them, I think. And if you don't, that's okay. I'm never going to be that annoying person. Just stop ordering the product. Things will be totally normal. But I promise you, I wouldn't waste your time. And if I just started a business, just started a business, would love your support as well. But you're going to love these products. And so I'm emphasizing and re-emphasizing the put the pressure on, right, for buying. But then I'm taking the pressure off that it's all about you. But how are you going to know if you like it or not unless you try it? And then just go from there. And so that's kind of that approach. Now, if it's someone that isn't a close friend, then it's not going to be so much selling, trying if I don't feel like I have that relationship yet. It's going to be selling them on first looking. So there's a step in between. Then it's going to be trying. And so I'm going to sell them on similar words of, look, I promised you I wouldn't waste your time. If you're interested, great. If not, that's okay. You can point me in the right direction. But I think you're going to be interested. You got to check this out. So you see how now the wording is more of checking something out rather than buying. And so I have like a little step in between. If it's somebody who's a business builder, it's very similar. Now, instead of products, it's still check this out. And I don't say, hey, what's your schedule like? And they tell me in 2 weeks they're done, because you just devalued your opportunity, just devalued your products. I'll say, I know you're crazy busy, because that's easy to say because everyone's busy these days. It's the most cliche thing, right? Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm so busy, right? I say it too sometimes. Don't get offended. We all say it. But then what I'll say to them is it's today or tomorrow, even if it needs to be at midnight. I don't want to talk at midnight. I don't want to have them checking things out, typically at midnight, but they're not going to ask me 99.99% of the time. What I did is I just created value on the urgency and the importance of what I'm talking about specifically. And here's the last thing. I just started training on this 3 months ago. It's fun. The things that we keep learning. I did a mastermind with 46 and 7-figure earners just about 10 days ago that I finished. And even though I'm the host, the little secret is I'm the one who's learning the most. Because I'm hosting them and I'm teaching them, about probably half the time. But I'm also like, they're all sharing their secret sauce, best tips and strategies. I'm like, yeah. Like taking notes and stuff. And so one of the things that I was teaching them is in the online world, there's what's called split testing. So if, let's say you go to robsperry.com, and what can happen is you're going to see 50% are going to see this website, 50% are going to see this. They're both Rob Sperry, just they look a little bit different. And you start to track on your own website which converts better of the two. So it's variations of the exact same website, kind of cool concept. Well, I don't see this really taught in network marketing, but I thought about it. And I'm like, why do we not split test in network marketing? And follow me on this. How many people, and maybe someone said this before, I've never heard anybody, but I don't know people that have done this consistently with their teams or duplicated it. Why would we not create our own split testing for invites? Because what works for you may not work for somebody else. So that's why I start out with principles. So you don't confuse like the exact wording. I got to say it like that. Extract the principle, apply with your own style or personality. And then from there, what I do is I say, okay, Troy, if you're going to approach someone about products, I want you to create 2 variations of how you're going to approach them. I want you to approach 20 this way, 20 this way. And then I want you to track how many of those 20 looked and how many joined. And you may come back to me and say, okay, version A, I invited 20, I had 15 that looked, and I had 10 that joined. Version B, I invited 20, and I had 8 look, and I only had 2 join. Well, boy, we got winner, chicken dinner. Option A obviously smashed option B. So now you're not done. I'm going to say, great, let's get rid of option B. Let's focus on option A. But now I want you to create another variation based off of option A, where you try to figure out, okay, what worked with option A. If you do this over the course of a year, over and over and over again, oh my goodness, you'll absolutely smash it. Isn't that how you'd run a real business? You'd keep tracking things and measuring things and try new ways and, try new advertising, and you'd split tests. Mm-hmm. We don't do this in network marketing. It's just, I talk to a lot of people. I don't even know what a lot means. How many? I don't know, but I'm working really hard, which usually means I watched 72 Facebook Lives, read 6 books, listened to 62 podcasts, studied the million ways our comp plan pays, right? All the pending patents. But how many new people you talk to? Well, maybe 1 or 2. So we confuse being productive, right? And busy, the whole busyness. We confuse the whole, well, I'm busy, so I'm productive. Don't confuse being busy with being productive. Huge difference. And so, that's what I would say as far as prefacing some wording for the scripts, but then also the setup of the principles for it, and then split testing.
Well, I think I agree. I think it's great stuff. I sometimes fall in that hole. I'm guilty as, being active and not productive. You look at the day getting away with you, and people come in this industry. And one of the reasons we love this industry is because no one's asking you to quit your job. No one's asking you to really change what you're doing. But they're just saying to addition to, not in place of. You don't have to quit your job. You're adding this where really now it's a phone business instead of it's really a phone business, not even a home business. It's really a phone business, and you don't have to quit your job. And I'm guilty. I'm guilty quite a bit of that, Rob. So I'm going to have to listen more to you where I'm active, but I haven't been productive. So this is great stuff. I think people are going to absolutely want to, I recommend go to his YouTube channel, like, subscribe, hit his bell. But what I want to talk to you before I let you go is you have I think it's great what you said is that the biggest student, when you're teaching a course, you're going to learn the most. So when you're teaching, hundreds of people that making a 6-figure earners, or you're teaching people that make 7 figures a year, and you're teaching them, you're going to learn more than even them, because they're going to ask you questions. They're going to put in input that you're going to be able to take from. And you got something going right now. It's pretty dope. I like it. It's called the 10-Day Legend Challenge. So before I let you go, okay, we've got to talk just a little bit about that. Tell me a little bit about your 10-Day Legend Challenge and what it's doing for people.
Yeah. So if you go to www.10, the number 10, and then the times sign, right? The little X. So 10 times, so 10x.robsperry.com. You'll see that what we do is we do TED Talk style, where each speaker has 20 minutes. And what we found is this is I think it's my eighth 10 times legend challenge. We've done studies on it, anonymous surveys. And so far we've had 97.4% that said they would highly recommend it to their teams, which, I mean, I would have been happy with 70%, but 97.4%, which has been phenomenal because it's micro content of straight to the point of 10 different styles, personalities. They're going to teach you all on how to up your game for sponsoring. And what I do is I come on after and I do a quick, anywhere from 5 to 10 minute recap, because I want to get straight to the point of what I like, but also some of my new insights on it. And then I issue a challenge, and the challenge will last for 48 hours. And this is a way to get people where they don't just learn, but we get them into action and we get huge results. I also create it where it's insane. When someone joins before it turns into a course, it's only $27. It's a couple dollars per legendary trainer. All the trainers are 6- and 7-figure earners. Every single one of them, as they come in, they keep it 100% generic as they do it. And then I transform the course to $375 once it begins. And so it's kind of like one of those things, like I want people on that live because that brings that energy. And so we reward them for it. So each one's gotten a little bit better, a little bit more perspective of what works, what doesn't work. The first one, we did a challenge every 24 hours, but with all the different time zones, it was a little complicated. So now we do 5 challenges instead of 10, but then we just create little bonus challenges with it. So I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to get people kick their butts a little bit, get them into action. There'll be a little.
Did that start already? Do you run these?
No, it starts May. I'm looking at it right now, the photo, May 17th.
All right, I'm gonna do a raffle and pay for a few of these, but I'm gonna do it on a different page, and we'll definitely have some, and I'll get to hear first thing. That's great. Yeah. All right. So in closing, Rob, what closing comments can you make? I know we're on a tight schedule. You got a busy schedule. What's last closing comments can you make to leave us with?
Biggest thing why one isn't having success is I traveled all over the world. I've spoken in 18 countries the last 4 years. It's the stupidest things you've ever heard in your life. You'll be like, what? You won't even believe it. They're so stupid simple. It's number one reason why people are not having the success they hope to have is they're not talking to enough brand new people about their business or products. Number two is they aren't doing enough third-party validations, whether that's 3-way chats, 3-way calls, Zooms. You do those 2 things, you'll crush it. But everybody gets caught up in trying to do everything else but the main thing. And if you do those 2 things and get out of your own way, you'll crush this. It's not a question of if, it's only a question of when. There are 2 questions everyone asks themselves, and you are asking yourself this as well. Your new prospects are asking this for joining. You're asking this for reaching whatever level you're at, the next level. Troy asks himself this for reaching the next level. I ask myself this for reaching the next level. These are the 2 questions. Number 1, can I do what you're doing? So you're just saying, can I do it? It's the first question. You got to know, can I actually do this? Second question is a little bit tougher. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Maybe it's a little more time. Is it worth it to deal with more fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of failure? Is it worth it? Because you may say, sure, I can do it, but is it worth it? These are the 2 questions. Always remind yourself that every single new prospect's asking, every single team member's asking this. It's new levels, new devils. I ask myself that. My goal this year was to work 25 hours a week and double my income. I'm on pace for doing that. Why though do I have this goal? Because my favorite quote of all time is die with memories, not with dreams. I'm going to do 8 family vacations this year. I did 8 last year. I did 7 the year before. I decided I'm coaching my kids' high school tennis teams. So right now I am done today at 1 p.m. and this will be my almost 3 months where by 1 p.m. I'm done, because I go and do anywhere from 3 to 6 hours if they play an away tennis match. And then I'll do my daughter's tennis team in the fall. So 5 months of the year. And then I got other kids. I got a total of 4 kids. So between teaching them all, I'm teaching 20 plus hours minimum a week of tennis. Well, that was one of my goals. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to focus on that impact with my family. And so you got to get really deliberate on that. So for me, I knew I could do it. And I thought, is it worth it? I said, yes, of course it's worth it, because I want to be able to create those memories someday. And I'm doing it now. So for me, it's all about the money, because it's what the money represents to me. I don't care about look at car, look at house. Those are fun, but those don't define me. What defines me more is the impact and influence I can have on my own family and on the rest of the world. So that's what I'll leave you with.
That's right. Well, that's great. That's fantastic stuff. His name is Rob Sperry. You can find him on Facebook, Instagram. And while you're at it, the Game of Networking on YouTube, go over there and like, subscribe, ring the bell. Make sure you ring that bell so you can be informed of when he's putting out new content. And he's got a lot of great people, guys. You're going to see some phenomenal training, not just from him, but he's got a lot of guests, and he associates himself with a lot of great people. And that's why he continues to grow. He's helped out companies. He's helped out top earners. And we didn't get, I think you got a flavor a little bit of what he does today. You got a really nice flavor. But to really get to absorb more of what he has, go over on his YouTube channel, look him up on Instagram, look him up on Facebook. And he's got books out there. He's got training videos. And if you're like me, what I'll tell you, turn your car to University of Wheels, turn off the music for a while, listen to Rob, listen to Rob Sperry and grow, because you're going to have great scripts of how to pique people's interest. And I always leave with this: who do you know that I should know? And so keep asking people, who do you know that I should know? And who I want you to know today is I want you to know Rob Sperry. I want you to not just watch this video a couple times. I want you to go to his YouTube channel and watch all the great trainers that he's interviewed, all the top earners that he's interviewed, all the top people that he's had, so they can teach you what to do, how to plan your day, how to go with the scripts. He's got so many great things. And then, of course, we're going to do a drawing, the 10-day Legend Challenge. That sounds pretty yummy, actually. That sounds delicious. I think for what's under $28 or something like that, that's a steal. That's a steal. That's an investment in yourself. So I always say an investment in knowledge pays the highest interest. Go invest in the 10-day Legend Challenge. Rob Sperry, the Game of Networking. Rob, thanks so much for having us. What a blessing to have you on our show. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks for having me, Trey. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye. God bless.